before opening, I invite you to just keep laying down. Enjoy the moment and tune into your body. Scan your body slowly. Start with your toes. Feel your feet. Allow your feet to be completely relaxed. Feel them becoming heavy. Allow your awareness to rise up your ankles, your calves, your shins. Feel them melting into the earth. No effort is needed. Feel the space in your knee joints. Move slightly higher. Relax the thighs. Feel them become heavy, warm, soft. Notice your buttocks, your hips, your groin relaxing. They too become soft and warm. Linger here for a while, feeling the openness, the flow of energy through your hips. Allow your awareness to come to the tailbone. Feel your sacrum and lower back release into the floor. Feel your lower back and stomach muscles relaxing. Allow this sensation to rise up the spine. Feel each vertebra, the space between them, their alignment. Allow the upper back muscles and the shoulder blades to sink towards the ground. Relax your chest and all the muscles between the ribs. Come to the shoulders, where we carry the weight of the world. So much tension in our body, on our shoulders. So let the shoulders release completely. Spend an extra moment here, really soften. Feel the weight of the shoulders releasing into the earth. Allow the sensation of softness to flow down your arms. Relax the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms. Feel the space in your wrist joint. Feel the space around each finger and the energy in the palm of each hand. Bring your awareness now to your neck and throat. Release all tension there. Relax your jaw, your lips, your tongue. Relax your cheeks and the eyes. All those little muscles around the eyes. Till deep in the eye socket. Relax your forehead. Relax your skull. Allow your head to rest heavily on the floor. Now relax your inner organs, or perhaps imagine them relaxing. Relax your intestines, your kidneys. Imagine your liver, your stomach, your spleen being filled with healing energies. Soften your diaphragm and your lungs. Relax your heart. Let your heart become open, vast, undefended and smiling. Release your breath. Let it be whatever it wants to be. Just notice your very own rhythm. Relax your mind. Allow yourself to be right here in this moment where everything is perfect. Enjoy this moment of silence, of peace. Let this sense, this feeling of peace grow deeper. Let this feeling of peace fill you. Let it fill the space around you. Let peace fill this space and beyond, touching everyone and everything. We are healing the world by healing ourselves. Now is your time to shine. Gently invite a little movement again Maybe wiggle your toes, stretch your fingers, stretch yourself. Maybe take another deep breath in and exhale. Maybe you would like to roll over to your left side, the yin side, to invite yin energies for our upcoming practice. And see if you can find your way into sitting, maybe with your eyes still closed, for a brief mindful moment. Your hands in a gesture of connection in front of your heart. Let your palms lean into each other. May our practice help us shift conflict into peace, control into letting go, impatience into patience, tension into truth, intolerance into acceptance. Let's chant 3 Oms together. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment for gratitude. Count your blessings. Let's bow our head towards our heart, acknowledging the wisdom of the heart is greater than the wisdom of the mind. Release your hands back down softly. Open your eyes gently. Start our practice today. I just want to remind you of a deep Dantian breathing, of our energy center, our healing center. So maybe place your hands like a hand width under your belly button and feel this center within. Feel how the air is lifting your belly. And with the exhalation, completely let go, release all old stagnant air. Breathing in deeply to the deepest point possible. Exhaling completely. With the next inhalation, in your own time, rise your hands towards the sky, stretch out. With the exhalation, spread good energy around you. Follow your own rhythm for a few breaths, breathing in deeply, stretching out, exhaling completely. Breathe in what you wish for today. Release tension and worries. One last round. I invite you for our first pose, the dangling. So if it comes easy, just come in an easy squat where you really already put the weight into your hands in front of you. Allow your spine to round softly and stretch out your legs. If you have lower back issues, please stay with the micro bend in the legs. But otherwise, gently, softly, allow your legs to completely stretch. And let your upper body just soften down. Now this is an inversion with any kind of high blood pressure, glaucoma, upper body infection. This is not the right pose for you. So just simply come back down in the dangling, in a simple forward fold. The reason why we want to stretch our legs completely, why we want to put a moderate amount of stress on our bones and on our joints, is so we can relax our muscles more, get into the yin tissue, and really strengthen the bones and joints through that little stress on them. Stay for 2 more minutes here to enjoy the inversion, the fountain of youth in yoga. They say inversions are most regenerating, rejuvenating, as they allow the blood to flow anti-gravity from the heart to the head, detoxing, strengthening our blood vessels, cardiovascular system. This is set to prevent heart and brain stroke. Also, it can help with the wrinkles in our face, bringing more oxygen to our head, to our brain. But of course, there can be also lots of pressure. So as always in our practice, listen to your body. You decide when you need to come out of the pose. Listen to your body always. Now if you shift your weight slightly forward, you increase the pressure on the ball of a foot. You're activating the acupressure point, kidney number 1, a great point to release any excess energy, to calm the mind, to clear the heart, to invite more grounding, more yin into our practice. Well done. So now shift the weight a little bit further again back in your hands. And maybe you want to adjust your legs to once more come gently down in a squat position. And once your legs are comfortable, vertebra by vertebra, very slowly roll your spine up into a straight position. Now when you're struggling with the squat, please sit on a block. You want to make sure you're not falling into the arches of your foot, that you have a stable, solid foundation on the whole foot. This can be also maybe a little bit adjusted by bringing the toes closer together while keeping the heels in place. But be mindful of your knee when you do this. Find a nice squat position here. Inhale one more time to rise up the spine to the sky, to soften into the pose, to ground yourself through your feet. This pose is set to help releasing lower back pain. It can help with period pain as well. And it's certainly an ankle test, strengthening our feet or ankle or grounding. Maybe even a little bit of balance. So feel yourself grounding, rooting through your feet. Feel the solid foundation of the earth beneath you. Take a few more deep Dantian breaths. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. And gently release your hands. Let your arms support you as you drop back to come into a rebound, stretching out your legs and just enjoying the echo of the pose in a neutral position to release completely. To observe, to feel those happy life sparkles flowing freely again. When you're ready, move where you need to move to prepare yourself for the next pose. Find your way up into sitting. And we come into a swan. Now here, you might want to keep your bolster close by. Maybe you don't need it. We can start together from a tabletop. You bring your left knee behind your left hand and see in which angle you want to have the left foot. The further you bring the left foot up, the stronger the outward rotation in your left hip is. So be mindful here, because as we sink in deeper, the hip needs to do the movement and you want to protect the knee. Now, here you really want to take the right leg all the way back. Walk the leg a little bit further, then you can feel your target area in your groin, your quadriceps, your hip. Feel the back leg extending. Feel the outside left hip. Now here I really like to have my bolster quite low under my chest to allow a little space for my groin area, but to still be able to really soften, bringing my forehead to the mat. But take a few moments to really explore where you can follow or tattvas or principles, where we find that edge, the Goldilocks position, where we can feel the sensation, where we can feel the stretch, but also where you can allow yourself to find stillness, to stay longer. In our practice, time and stillness are the magic ingredients. And we stay here for another 4 minutes. Softening where you can. Releasing your weight completely towards the ground. Exploring the concept of resistance and surrender. It's a beautiful yin pose, as body weight and gravity are actually doing the work for us. All there is left to do is to trust the process, to release more, to let go more. Pose. We are activating the liver and the kidney meridian in our groin area. The liver flowing from the top of our foot between the first and the second toe, where you might feel a acupressure even right now on your extended foot. And from there, it goes to the inside of your leg, all the way up to your groin area, where it makes a loop all around to the other side, making a half circle around your belly. Maybe you will have a little acupressure on your liver meridian as well, feeling your front leg on your belly area. But well done for now. It is time to change the side. So gently bring your weight once more in your hands. Lift yourself up. Allow the back leg again to come closer, to find your way back into the tabletop. If you wish, you can give yourself a gentle stretch and an easy down dog. Coming back to a tabletop. And then bringing the right knee behind the right ankle. Allow the body sides to be different. Explore new. What is the ankle of your right leg? How far ahead you can bring your right foot? Remember to be mindful. It should be a hip outward rotation, not a knee twist. Once you're comfortable here, walk the back leg, the left leg, as far ahead as possible. And gently soften once more. Take the time to explore if you need a bolster. Take the time to explore this side of the body new. And make a wise choice of where you want to spend the next 4 minutes with mindfulness, stillness, and peace. In yoga, we're working with the Taoist wisdom of the meridians, of the chi flow in the body. While the Liver Meridian has a lot of insight to offer, it can help us to invite acceptance in our life, to build a foundation for forgiveness. Liver as part of the wood element has the energy of wanting to manifest, expressing our drive and desires. Energy of youth and spring, wanting to rise above and move ahead. This energy needs to be carefully handled to not become too dominating, too pushing, too egocentric. So with this energy free flowing, we are also able to invite acceptance, understanding, tolerance into our lives. Today's theme of our class is really how we can find a way to forgiveness, to forgive others and ourselves, and to to see and accept reality for what it is. Radical acceptance of the things and the people and ourselves, how they are, how we are. It's the foundation to cultivate forgiveness. Well done. Now gently bring your weight in your hands once more. Lift yourself up to bring the front leg back. Once more, maybe you want to stretch yourself out briefly and find your way into a rebound. This time, if you're comfortable, maybe on your front, bringing your arms to the side. Or maybe you want to turn around wherever you're comfortable for a moment of peace. And gently prepare yourself for our next pose. Come into a waterfall. So turn around, find a bolster under your hips, and maybe a scarf to hold your legs. You can use a blanket or a scarf. You want to be with your hips on the bolster. And either you can stretch the hands overhead for a complete waterfall, or you can support your legs there for a little bit by holding the cloth with the help of your hands to keep the feet in place. Once more, find your position and find stillness for another inversion. If the inversion is not for you today, here you can simply put a little bolster under the head to keep your head up. Maybe remove the bolster under the hips. So find once more your position and enjoy the inversion, the best pose for our varicose veins, but also to really activate our parasympathetic nervous system. With the legs in the air, there is nowhere to run, no place to be, but to relax. Similar than to our first pose, we are tapping here in the activation of the Urinary Bladder Meridian, going all along our back. And with a free-flowing chi in this energy channel, we have a solid foundation to regulate our emotions. This is a way to really invite harmony and balance, to build and cultivate or trust in life. Another helpful energy for the backdrop of forgiveness, trusting in the universe, trusting that you are at the right place at the right time. No need to hold grudges, no need to resent others or yourself. Accepting and trusting in who you are and the world you live in. As always, listen to the body. Do come out of the pose if you need to. But remember, the benefits of the inversion are plenty. So it is good to really stay here a little bit longer. As I tell you a story from Rumi about, you will see what it is about. So they asked Rumi, what is poison? And he said, anything beyond what we need is poison. Can be power, laziness, food, ego, ambition, fear, rage, or whatever. So they asked, what is fear? The non-acceptance of uncertainty. If we accept uncertainty, it becomes adventure. So what is envy? He said, the non-acceptance of the good in each other. If we accept her well-being, it becomes inspiration. So they asked, what is anger? He answered, the non-acceptance of what is beyond our control. If we accept it, it becomes tolerance. So they asked, what is hate? And he said, the non-acceptance of people as they are. If we accept unconditionally, then it becomes love. Release the pose now gently, as you can let Rumi's words echo in the rebound. Come down in a pose in neutrality. Relax completely. Stay focused on the acceptance of yourself and others. Choose compassion over judgment and curiosity over fear. Prepare yourself for our next pose. Move where you need to move. And we will come in a hanging bridge, so no need to get up all the way, but find your bolster or your block. So come into a bridge and explore your body today. Can you stay in a stronger hanging bridge with your arms extended, with the block upright? Does it need to be a bit gentler on a lower block? Or would you like a little bit more cushion today on a bolster? Choose your pose. We're going to stay here for 3 minutes. Make sure to also stretch your arms overhead. Since now, I want to invite you to explore the Heart Meridian as well. To open up to love unconditionally. To open up the path to forgiveness. So the Heart Meridian comes from your heart to your arm. From the armpit, on the inner lower side of your arm, it flows from the pinky, actually, down to the heart. Working on our spine health, opening our back, our spine, but also our heart and the Heart Meridian. With this pose. Feelings like disappointment, irritation, resentment, anger, jealousy, embarrassment or fear are actually just very clear moments that teach us where it is that we're stuck. They tell us with terrifying clarity, like messages, that there is something which needs our attention. Every issue, every problem is approached best, always with an open heart, as love is always the only true answer. Allow your heart to be open, vast, undefended, and smiling. Allow yourself to love unconditionally and to be loved unconditionally. Gently bring your arms back to your side, put your weight into your elbows, release your prop gently, vertebra by vertebra. Come back into a laying down position on your rebound. Observe the echo of the pose for a moment in stillness. Again, prepare yourself for next pose. Move where you need to move. Gently find your way into sitting. So I quickly want to show you with what we have been working today. Come into an easy butterfly. And remember the beginning of our journey when we put in the dangling or pressure on the ball of our feet. Here is the kidney number 1. A point which you can easily press now with your thumbs, and it feels really good to give yourself a little massage there. So this point is really helping us to find grounding, the lowermost point in the body, to release excess energy, to clear our mind, calm our heart. Perfect yin activating energies at the beginning of a practice. With the urinary bladder stretched all along our back, the water element as nice foundation to start our journey today. Then we moved on to the Liver Meridian, coming from inside the first 2 toes on the top of the foot to the inside leg, to the side. So here, find the acupressure point of liver number 3. The extension of the first and the second toe. There should be a valley in between, just big enough to place your finger in. That is your liver number 3. A wonderful point to release anything you're really still holding on to, anything which you can't really ease in the grasp easily. It's an exit gate to help you to let go of the control, of the holding, of the tension. Opening up the doors to acceptance and forgiveness. Now from here you can give yourself a little massage along the yin channels, the inside of your legs, maybe your quadricep, wherever it feels good. Give yourself a little self-love, massage, some touch. Ending once more on kidney number 1. So, since we're already in a beautiful butterfly, let's come into the back bend. So you have the choice of a stronger back bend, putting the pillow this way, or a more gentler variation, putting the bolster along your spine. But before we get there, let's try a little toe sip to stretch our toes, not to forget our feet, the foundation. The feet which carry us all day long. Here is a nice opportunity to give those toes a little stretch. See if you can fold one into the other. It's not for everyone maybe. But a nice passive stretch for our toes here. And when you're ready, you might want to have just a little bit distance between your sacrum and your bolster. And gently find your way in a rebound. Put the bolster a long way. If you have any inversion issues, high blood pressure, upper body infection, glaucoma. And lastly, really stretch out your arms to the side, taking our back bend from the sacral area one step higher in the lumbar, working on our spine health, stretching out our upper body. Stay here for another 3 minutes. Inviting acceptance, forgiveness, with an open heart. Valuing each part of our experience, taking lessons learned. Anything that annoys you is for teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is for teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is for teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is for teaching you how to take that power back. Anything you hate is for teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is for teaching you courage to overcome your fear. Anything you can't control is for teaching you how to let go and trust the universe. Gently release the pose. Bring your weight on your elbows, stretch out your legs, remove the bolster. Take another deep breath in to exhale. Prepare yourself for your next pose, but before we get there, I invite you for some windshield wipers. Bend your knees, put your feet to the outside of the mat, and gently let your legs swing from one side to the other. Give your sacrum, your lower back, a little massage. Ease and tightness in your hips. And prepare yourself for our next pose. We need a block for a supported fish with triangle legs. So here we move now from our lower spine to the upper spine. You want to block anywhere around your shoulder blades. You explore if you want to block the long way, or maybe along your spine, maybe a little bit less high or higher. Maybe if you're sensitive, you can place a little cushion on top of the block. So really, again, take the time, explore. And you want the block to be quite up. So we're really moving up the spine today, coming from the lower part, really up to under the shoulder blades. Now this pose can get intense for your neck, depending on how high you are. So you can also place another blanket, a little pillow, as a support for your head to not go into a too strong bend on your cervical spine. So really see where you're comfortable. Once your back, your spine, your neck is fine, bend your knees. Bring the knees somewhat closer to your upper body. Keep the heels to the maximum outside of your mat and let the knees lean into each other. So we have a hip inward rotation in our hips, but supported by one leg leaning into each other. And lastly, once more, expand your arms to the side. Let your heart be open. The supported fish, the ultimate heart opening, with the beautiful combination of the inward rotation, stretching out or psoas or lower back or hips. a wonderful pose to stay a little bit longer. If you don't want to go into the full inversion, make sure your head is completely supported. Wonderful pose. Open your heart to count your blessings. To see the abundance everywhere. And if we are able to see the good things in our life, to cultivate that gratitude, to have a smiling heart, we live in absolute abundance. We live in love. And from a place of absolute abundance, it comes very easy and naturally to cultivate forgiveness. To accept reality for what it is, and to find the beauty in the small things. Open your heart, count your blessings, invite the abundance. Freedom is found when we let go of who we are supposed to be and embrace who we really are. When we let go of expectations, when we allow ourselves to love unconditionally and to be loved unconditionally. Releasing attachments to the way we think things should be. Quieting the voice of our ego so we can hear the voice of our heart. Focused on the acceptance of yourself and others. Choose compassion over judgment, curiosity over fear. Gently release the pose. Bring your weight on your elbows, relax your legs, remove the bolster vertebra by vertebra once more. Find your way into the rebound. Slowly, we're coming to the end of the class, to our last pose for today. Prepare yourself for this last pose. No need to get up all the way. Just roll yourself on your left side. Come into a cat pulling its tail. So make sure here you have the hips directly over each other. You bring the up leg, the right leg in front, and the back leg behind you. You scissor your legs. Bend, you lower your left knee, and with the upper, with the right hand, reach behind you. Come into a twist, let the right shoulder go all the way behind you to the floor, and see if you can reach the lower foot. Maybe here, can acupressure, kidney number 1, even once more. So we are in a full twist now, hips on top of each other. Right shoulder softening to the ground, reaching behind from the right hand to the left foot. And lastly, once more, scissor your legs and find the maximum distance in between your legs. And again, release, soften into the twist. The twists, which are set to bring in equilibrium between our forward folds and our back bends. The twists are also inviting us to change perspective, to get a good view around, to see every side and all options. We will stay here for another 4 minutes. As I will tell you a Taoist tale on inner forgiveness. Inner forgiveness is a virtue that has long been the focus of many spiritual systems. Since it is a necessity to be peaceful in our inner world. Master Koksui said, your spiritual development depends on your ability to forgive others. So there are many stories and parables that explain the beneficial effects of forgiveness, encouraging us to forgive, forget, to continue living and loving. The following story of the sack of the potatoes is the Taoist approach. How to do so. So, the story goes, one day a sage gave his disciple an empty sack and a basket of potatoes, and he asked the disciple to write the name of people with whom he still feels angry. He said, think of all the people who have done or said something against you in the recent past, especially those you cannot forgive. Take one potato as a representation of each one, and put them in the sack. So the disciple came up with a few names, and soon after his sack was heavy with potatoes. Carry the sack with you wherever you go for 7 days, said the sage, and then we shall meet again. So at first the disciples thought nothing of it. Carrying the sack was not particularly difficult. After some time, however, it became more of a burden. It sometimes even got in his way, and it seemed to require quite more effort to carry as time went on, even though the weight remained the same. After a few days, the sack began to smell. The potatoes gave up a ripe odor. Not only were they increasingly inconvenient to carry around, they were also becoming rather unpleasant. Finally, the week was over and the disciple went to the sage. Any thought on all this? The sage asked. Yes, Master, the disciple said. When we are unable to forgive others, we carry negative feelings with us everywhere, much like these potatoes. And that negativity becomes a burden to us, and after a while, it festers. I will continue the story on your other side. So gently release the pose, release your arms and legs, roll over on your back. Stay there for a moment, allow your spine to realign. When you feel ready, roll over to your right side. Bring the top leg in front of you, the lower leg behind you. And with the upper hand, reach behind you to find your foot. Allow yourself to go in the twist. Hips remain on top of each other. Shoulders are softening to the ground. Remember to turn also your head over your left shoulder for the whole spine to get the twist. And when you're comfortable, lastly, once more, extend the distance between both legs. Soften once more into the pose. As our story continues. So the negativity becomes a burden after a week in the sack. It festers. Yes, said the sage, that is exactly what happens when one holds a grudge. So how can we lighten the load? And the disciple says we must strive to forgive. The master said, yes, forgiving someone is the equivalent of removing the corresponding potato from the sack. How many of your transgressors are you able to forgive? And the disciple answered, I've thought about it quite a bit, Master. It required much effort, but I have decided to forgive all of them. Very well, we can remove all the potatoes then. Were there any more people who transgressed against you this last week? And the disciple thought for a while and realized there were. Life happens. And then he panicked when he knew that his empty sack was about to get filled up again. Master, he asked, if we continue like this, there will be always potatoes in the sack, week after week. Yes, the sage said, as long there are people speak or act against you in some way, there will be always potatoes. But Master, we can never control what others do, so what good is the Tao in this case? The Master answered, we are not in the realm of the Tao yet. Everything we have talked about so far is the conventional approach to forgiveness. It's the same thing that many philosophies and most religions preach. We must constantly strive to forgive. It is an important virtue. This is not the Tao, because we are not striving in the Tao. Then what is the Tao, Master? You can figure it out. If the potatoes are the unpleasant feelings, then what is the sack? The sack in this case is a case that allows me to hold on to the negativity. It is something within us that makes us dwell on feeling offended. It might be my inflated sense of self-importance. And what will happen if you let go of it? Then the things that people say or do against me no longer seems to be such a major issue. In that case, you won't have any potatoes with new names. That means no more weight to carry around, no more bad smells. The Tao of forgiveness is the conscious decision not just to remove some potatoes, but to relinquish the entire sack. We want to practice higher levels of forgiveness, where there remains nothing to forgive. Release the pose gently. Find your way in a brief rebound on your back. Allow your spine to realign. Allow your tissues to come to neutrality. And gently, when you're ready, prepare yourself for a final relaxation. Quite some mosquitoes are around. Take a blanket, maybe a repellent. Allow yourself to rest completely, let go completely. Release and enjoy a moment of complete peace. Let peace fill you. Let peace fill the space around you. Peace fill this room and beyond, touching everyone and everything. We're healing the world by healing ourselves. Now is the time to shine. Gently wake yourself up again. Invite a fresh start into the rest of the day. Be open to invite good things to happen. Think happy thoughts, drink lots of water. Fill your body with good fuel. Happy is healthy. Inspire yourself. Create, laugh and play. Give someone a compliment. Make a new friend. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Spread love. Create good karma. Take chances. The world is waiting for you to show up, to be brave, to be daring, to be full of light. So stay focused on the acceptance of yourself and others. Choose compassion over judgment and curiosity over fear. You are here, you matter, and the world is waiting. Slowly rise your energy. Maybe you want to wiggle your toes, stretch your fingers, take another deep breath in. Maybe you want to roll over to your right side to invite young energies for the rest of the day. Take your time and slowly find your way back into sitting to end the practice as we started in a brief mindful moment. Bring your hands in front of your heart into a gesture of connection. Take another moment to count your blessings, to cultivate the attitude of gratitude. Energy flows where attention goes. Open the doors to the good things to come into your life. Bring your hands to your forehead. May our minds be calm. May there be clarity and wisdom. Bring your hands to your lips. May our words be kind. May we always remember that words can hurt or heal. Bring your hands back to your heart. May our hearts be full of love. May there be peace and love for us and the whole world. Let's chant Om Shanti together. Take another deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Give yourself a bow. Thank yourself for practicing today. Thank you for joining me. slowly afternoon.